Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 142 of Serenova Crafts. I'm your host Jessica. I can be found as Serenova on Ravelry and Twitter, and as Serenova Crafts on Instagram. You can find the show notes for today's episode on my blog or in the Ravelry group. Links down below if you're watching on YouTube. There goes the cats. That's confetti behind me. Zoe went running by. You guys chasing each other again? They've been doing that a lot lately. But anyways, I'm back. It's been like 3 weeks. I got really sick after New Hampshire Sheep and Wool, about 3 days after I went. So I went on the Saturday of Sheep and Wool. That Tuesday, the Tuesday after, what are you doing, Confetti? Betty, what are you doing? Anyways, the Tuesday after New Hampshire Sheep and Wool, I started having a fever and I started coughing and I started feeling really bad. I actually ended up staying home from work for 2 days. And then I ended up going to emergency care twice. I ended up on some heavy duty antibiotics to basically stave off pneumonia because it had settled in my lungs. And I've had pneumonia before, so once you've had pneumonia, you're far more susceptible to pneumonia. So the antibiotics were a precaution to keep what had settled in my lungs from turning into pneumonia. If you can't tell, I'm still a little congested. I still have a little bit of a residual cough, not much of one. I thought about recording last week, but unfortunately I could not get my coughing under control, so it's been another week. And finally I have the coughing under control long enough that I can actually talk to the camera and do a recording. So, you know, like things are. So, I have a couple of things to go over today. I have some whips. I have New Hampshire Sheep and Wool to talk about. I have a giveaway for that yarn, the $139 giveaway. Yeah, a few things. So, okay. So actually, I was just checking my sorry, my phone's being funny. I was just checking in on Ravelry, and I'll just come on. There we go. Sorry, my phone was being weird. All right, I'll just pop that on the side of the screen. So as you can see, I had the giveaway, and then there are only two entries. So I'm just going to give those people what they wanted, because one of them wanted the sock, and the other one wanted the Rowan. So, and one of them didn't want either of the art yarns, so I will just send both art yarns to the person who was interested in the silk. So that would be Angelic Embers. You're going to get both of these, and the Rowan, and Nicole S. I will happily send you the Kauni. So if you guys can PM me your addresses, that would be great, and I will get these in the mail for you. So that was quick and easy. So that was that, because I only got 2 entries on that giveaway, so it's not really a giveaway. But anyways, so now that that's done, I'm going to talk about New Hampshire Sheep and Wool real quick. I was really disappointed by it this year. I mean, I did buy this year's t-shirt. You can see this is the t-shirt. It's actually got the New Hampshire Wool Growers Association logo on the shoulder. But it wasn't as big as it has been. It's been getting steadily smaller the last few years, as far as I can tell. I did take a couple of friends. One of them had never been to a yarn festival before, and she enjoyed it. Well, she hadn't been to like a big one. I took her, this is the same friend I took to Stitches United. She hadn't been to New Hampshire Sheep and Wool before. I wasn't impressed, but my friends enjoyed themselves. Well, we ended up only staying for like 2.5, 3 hours, and then we drove back here to my house and I made lunch. And we ended up just watching like stupid stuff on TV the rest of the time. So, but anyways, I'm going to talk about some faux, and then and that was it. I'm not going to get into New Hampshire Sheep and Wool, simply because it's just not worth it to talk about it from my perspective. At the end of this, however, I will put in a video I recorded with my friend Jen, who goes by Stormcoast. who was at the festival. She was working the Fiber Stash booth, and we did record a quick little thing. So I will actually put that in the end of this episode. So it was really good getting to see Jen and a few of my friends, but beyond that, I was not terribly impressed by New Hampshire Sheep and Wool. So, okay, so now that I've done that, I'm going to show you guys my FOs real quick. So the first one I'm going to show you is a hat. Is this one. This was a test knit for a friend. I didn't really have any problems with it. I did the large slouchy side. It's actually got 4 cables all around the hat. The yarn I used is I'm trying to think of what it is. 3 Irish Girls. It's technically their DK. The pattern called for worsted, but this is a DK yarn, but it was basically working up like a worsted or even an Aran. It was thick for a DK. 3 Irish Girls DK in the Lucky Charms colorway. And then I bought this pom-pom at the Fiber Stash booth because the pattern said to make a pom-pom, but I don't like making pom-poms, so I just bought a pom-pom. And then what I did on the inside, because I'll show you guys the inside, I just attached the pom-pom with a bow so that if I need to wash the hat, I can just take the pom-pom off. And I'll show you guys what it looks like on. It's a slouchy hat, you know, like any slouchy hat. So you can see here, of course my ponytail's always in the way, but the pom-pom and the slouch and the cables and everything. It's actually a really nice hat. Unfortunately, it's now way too warm for me to wear this outside because we've had 80-90 degree Fahrenheit days, and it's hot. And I don't want to wear a wool hat in the heat because this is 100% wool. So, yeah. Actually, no, there's alpaca in here too. It's wool and alpaca. So this is like a really warm hat. The other faux, because I'm going in the order of actually finished, is I finished what I was calling my Paris Toujours Part 2. Sorry about the crinkling. Because I decided to knit a second Paris Toujours in worsted weight. So, when you guys last saw it, it was here. It was very close to the beginning. I was like 2.5 repeats in. There's the marker. Well, I finished it. This isn't blocked yet, by the way, but I did finish it. Here it is. I have to lean way back so you guys can see it. But I finished it. And I managed to get, at the end here, you're supposed to do a certain amount of just garter at the end here to just form a garter edge. I managed to do about 2/3 of what the pattern called for before I ran out of yarn. So I didn't have quite enough yarn. I had to cut it a little short, but I almost knit the whole pattern as written, with only cutting it a few rows short due to running out of yarn. But I mean, this is gonna block out, you know, this is gonna get like, because I mean, I have to block out all these eyelets, so right now the weight of it is holding it open, so that's what it's gonna be like. But like at this end here, you can see they're all like really closed, so I'm gonna have to block this and it's gonna get bigger when it blocks. So this is gonna be a really nice shawl for cooler weather. But again, it's summertime now. Well, it's not officially summer. The solstice is the 21st of June, but yeah, so this is done. I'm very glad to get that off the needles. This is what I get for being sick. I actually finished stuff because I wasn't working and I had fever brain, so that was actually pretty simple. The other thing I finished was my speckled space socks. They're done. And yes, there's 2 socks here. It's hard to tell. But here, you can actually, I'll hold it up so you can actually see the pattern. Look at that. The pattern looks so good in this yarn. This is Molly Girl Yarns, her baseline base, in the Let It Go colorway. I bought this yarn back in 2016, hence the Frozen reference name. They don't match, but I basically, just because it's a speckled yarn, there was no way these were ever going to match, but I just knit them that way. Zoe, don't hit the, Zoe's right behind the camera. Zoe, get down, 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 go on. Good girl. Stay off the coffee table. I have it propped up on a rather precarious pile of stuff. And the cat jumped up behind it and wanted to rub on it, and I'm like, no, don't do that. But anyways, I finished these. The last time you saw these, I'd finished one and I had about that much of the second one done. Well, I finished them. So, I used the Fish Lips Kiss heel instead of the heel the pattern calls for. Speckled Space Socks is a completely free pattern. I did the 72 stitch version because that's what size I like my socks. Zoe, Get off the coffee table. Just jump back up, like cats. So anyways, this is they're done. So yeah, those are my 3 faux. In terms of whips, I have put like 5 rows on my Hermione's every day. This is the yarn, one of the skeins I got when I was in Toronto for the Knitter's Frolic. Here it is. I'm doing the Hermione's everyday pattern. I'm actually very close to doing the heel, probably about that much more, and it's going to be heel time. And in case you're wondering, this is Feisty Fibers, and it's their Beyond Socks base in the colorway Smashed Candy. So, there's that. And then the other whip that I was actually hoping I'd have finished for today, but I cannot knit brioche fast enough. In this bag, I like foxes if you can't tell. Fox bag, yeah. Is my second brioche beanie. Alright, so the brioche beanie, I have it here in my hands. I was just making sure it wasn't going to come off the needles. So last time I showed it to you guys, I was here because I put the marker in. So I've done a good like 3 or 4 inches of hat. I have about another 1.5 inches to go until I do the crown decreases, and then it'll be done. So like I said, here's where it was. Here's where it is, you know, so I like how the yarn's knitting up. It's not quite striping. It's kind of like just this shifting thing. So I'm really liking how the color's working up. This yarn is a little bit of a thicker fingering. Not quite sport, but just like a heavier fingering. So it's working up really nicely. It's going to be a slightly lighter version of the hat than the other one, because the other one was even a little thicker than this. It was almost sport weight. But yeah, again, this is a free pattern on Ravelry. And this yarn is Highland Handmaids. So that's the yarn base. It's a sugar maple socks with 75% wool, 25% nylon. It's not merino, it's just like a rougher wool. And the colorway is called Slippery Slope. There's her information, Highland Handmaids, made in Maine. She does very pretty stuff. Personally, I've been joking that this is called Loki, because Slippery Slope, it's probably Loki inspired. I mean, look at those grains and stuff. I mean, and there's some shots of yellow and things in here too, so, you know, I'm guessing it's Loki inspired. It's gonna be like my Loki hat. But anyways, so brioche beanie. So that's my other whip, the other big whip. So I've really been working on the sock and the hat. I did also pull out, but not work on, my stone cutter pullover, because I've decided that's going to be my Rhinebeck sweater. So I'm going to be working on that. I printed out the pattern again because I need to figure out where I am in the charts. But I'm about halfway down the front. I finished the back, I'm about halfway down the front, and so I just need to finish the front and do the sleeves, and I should be good. So yeah, I just need to remember where I was in the pattern, which is going to be tricky because you're juggling about 4 charts at the same time with that pattern, so good times there. Also, I'm going to, it was decided this week because I can take the day off of from the show, that I'm going to go to TNNA this month, being June 2018. That's in Cleveland, Ohio. I've never been to Ohio, so I took a Thursday off of work. We're going to drive out on Thursday, we're going to be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're going to drive back Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, so I can go to work Monday morning. So that's going to be fun. But TNA is more of a merchant thing. It's not really, people don't really buy like you normally buy at like a yarn festival. I'm going with 100 Ravens, if that wasn't obvious. But this is like wholesalers selling to businesses. In terms of like, oh, people want to order yarn to have at their shop, or on their website, or whatever, right? So this is more of a business thing, but they need someone to help work the booth. They also got into Nita Spa 2019, so I'm going to be there anyways, because my mom and I already booked our hotel room for Spa 2019, so I'm going to be helping them then there too, because I literally told them, I said, look, if you guys get into Spa, I'm already going to be there. My mom and I already have a hotel room. If you need help, let me know. So they got in, so they're gonna be like, yes, we need your help at the booth, so. But my Rhinebeck sweater, because I am going to Rhinebeck. We have booked the cabin. I'm going to be there. I want to finish my stonecutter, so hopefully next week there will be some progress on it. And lastly, I have stash, so crinkling bag. I bought one skein of yarn at New Hampshire Sheep and Wool. One, I was good. One singular skein. Because I decided I do not have enough sparkly socks. I wanted a sparkly sock base. So I got a skein of fiber stash. So this is her Twinkle Toes sock base. And it is 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 5% twinkle, which is the little shiny bits. Hey, you can actually see the shiny bits. And the colorway is Unicorns in Space. I'm covering the price with my finger, but there you go. See? Unicorns in Space. Because it's written like that, so I need to, it's written like that, so I need to say it like that. But here we go. So it says hand wash, lay flat to dry, so, you know, but I'll probably am going to make socks out of this. I'm probably going to make socks out of this. But so there we go. So, also I've been good. Like, I just noticed when I was holding up the yarn. I'm actually managing to grow out my nails a little bit. They're not perfect, but I've literally been biting my nails my whole life. This might be too much TMI for people, but biting my nails my whole life, I finally managed to get a little bit of growth, and I'm like super happy about it. So, I'm gonna put in the video from with Jen and I here. Okay, so, hi, I ran into Jen here. She's at the Fiber Stash booth helping out.
Yeah, hi, Jen here of the Uncreative Crafter. It is crazy here at New Hampshire Sheep and Wool. Jess got to go around and buy stuff and look at things, and I haven't had a chance to.
Hopefully you can go at some point this weekend.
Maybe tomorrow. I don't know, but no, it's good to be here. Good to see all the yarn. Good to see my friends. So.
Yeah, it's good to run into people and say hi. I've run into a ton of people I know from my local knitting group, who I just keep running into at different booths throughout the place. Like, there was like 3 of them when I was like standing in line to pay to get in the door.
Yeah, we run into fiber people all the time. It's good stuff.
Yeah. So, all right.
Good to see you. Have fun.
All right. And all right, now that you've seen that, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. If you think you might like the podcast, give me a subscribe. I won't ask for you to turn on notifications because that's just silly. But, you know, likes, subscribes, comments are all very much appreciated. If you're a new viewer, thank you for sticking around and watching this whole thing. If you are a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. I know I took like a 3-week hiatus because I was very, very sick. But anyways, again, thank you all for watching, and hopefully I will see you next time. Bye!